Hey guys, it's Glizzy here, and in today's Destiny 2 video, we're going to be checking out the best build for Grandmaster Nightfalls, and this build seems to be the best build for the week 1 Grandmaster Nightfall inside Terminus. So we're going to be taking an in-depth look at this build, and we're going to be going over the best parts about it and what makes it so good for Grandmaster Nightfalls. If you guys do go on to enjoy this video, please be sure to let me know by slamming that thumbs up button, but without further ado, let's dive straight into it. So looking at our first mod, we have Taking Charge. Become charged with light by picking up an Orb of Light. So when we pair this up with a Masterwork weapon, anytime we complete a double kill, that means we'll generate an orb, and that's going to make us become charged with light. Now looking at our next mod, we have Powerful Friends. When you become charged with light, nearby allies also become charged with light if they are not charged already. So this mod is going to work really nice with the Taking Charge mod. So anytime we do collect an orb, this is going to make our other teammates charged with light also. So now looking at our next mod, we have High Energy Fire, and this mod is going to be needed to be ran by your other two teammates also. So your other two teammates are going to need to dedicate at least one mod slot to the High Energy Fire, because whenever they are charged with light, they're going to get that 20% damage increase, and that's going to be really nice for clearing out these tanky ads, because we are 25 levels under the delta. So when we pair this up with Powerful Friends, anytime we collect an orb, it's going to make all of our other teammates charged with light, meaning all of our other teammates are going to be getting a 20% damage increase whenever we become charged with light. So now moving on to our next mod, we have Stacks on Stacks. Gain an extra stack of charge with light for every stack you gain. So this is going to work really nice with our Taking Charge. Anytime we collect an orb, instead of it giving us only one stack of charge with light, we'll be gaining 2 stacks of charge with light. So now moving on to our final mod, we have Passive Guard. Receive less damage from combatants that are close to you while you are wielding a sword. So I made an entire video going over this mod. You guys can find that in the top right hand. We go over the build that you can use with this mod, and you basically get a 500% increase to your health while you are using this mod, and pairing it up with some concussive dampener mods. So I was using 5 concussive dampeners on each of my mod pieces, so I could go ahead and get that 500% increase to my health. Like I said, I won't be able to cover all of the details about this mod right here, but if you guys want to find that video, you can find it inside the description or also in the top right hand corner. So when using this build, you become the ultimate support player, being able to dish out buffs to your fellow guardians and also being able to tank tons of damage. This becomes one of the best builds for Grandmaster Nightfalls. So now we're going to go ahead and check out what weapons we were using to take down this Grandmaster Nightfall, and we're going to go over what we were using and then what all of our teammates were using, and it made this Grandmaster Nightfall just extremely easy. So to make your experience in Grandmaster Nightfall so much more easier, you want to go ahead and pick up a weapon with Disruption Break on it. Disruption Break rewards you with a 50% damage increase anytime you break an enemy shield. So this applies to anti-barriers also, so what you can basically do is pair up an anti-barrier mod on a Disruption Break weapon, and anytime you break an anti-barrier shield, you'll be rewarded with a 50% damage increase. So if you don't have a sidearm with this weapon, then you can go ahead and find the SMG inside of Escalation Protocol. That SMG comes with Disruption Break, so whenever you actually break an enemy shield, you will get that 50% damage increase. So what our team did was go ahead and use 2 teammates using anti-barrier SMG, and then going ahead and having our 3rd teammate use Arianas. You can actually prime up the anti-barrier shield by firing off 2 Ariana shots, so the shield's low enough so the SMGs can go ahead and break the shield for that 50% damage increase. With that huge increase, you'll be able to actually 2-tap these anti-barriers down inside of the Grandmaster difficulty. So for our team composition, we went with 2 Izanagi Burdens and 2 anti-barrier weapons using Disruption Break, and then in the heavy slot went with 2 swords so we could go ahead and get easy revives and make sure we weren't the ones to die. And then for our 3rd person, they went ahead and used Arianas with unstoppable rounds, and then in the heavy slot a Void machine gun to take care of the Void shield, because we are going to be encountering quite a bit of Void shields. So now starting our Grandmaster Nightfall, to kick it off, we're going to want to go ahead and take the left pathway to start this strike off. If you do actually go down the right pathway and go through the enemies, there is a high chance that you might end up getting killed, because don't forget the enemies are at Grandmaster level. So everything hits really hard, even the world enemies. So to take the safest route, go ahead and follow the left pathway, and this is where we're going to want to go ahead and start this strike. So as soon as you jump into the strike, you will be greeted by your first anti-barrier. So basically just take it very slow, kill the ads first, then focus on the anti-barriers. That seems to work the best because the ads can become quite annoying. So take out the ads first, then focus on the anti-barriers. So basically, as you guys can see, what I'm doing here is clearing the ads around this anti-barrier, and then we focus on the anti-barrier, and then we take out the ads again, and then we kill all the ads, then we focus on the next anti-barrier. This seemed to just work the best because we're eliminating all the ads out of the way, and then it just makes sure we can isolate the anti-barrier and make sure we can execute him alone, because that seems to be the easiest way to actually take these guys down. So after clearing our first few rooms, now we are on to the next part where we are going to be encountering quite a bit of unstoppable champions. So our unstoppable champion guy is going to have to be putting his pistol to work here. So basically what we did here was start the plate and then back off of the plate and defend it from the back. We're going to want to take down at least 4 unstoppables here. So instead of just sitting on the plate and capturing it, because we can definitely do that and just sit on the plate and capture it really quick, we want to actually farm as many champions as we can at this part, as many champions as we can get, because the next part is going to be quite hard. So we're going to want to walk into that next part with quite a bit of lives to feel very comfortable. We walked out of this room each time with around 10 to 12 lives, so that's where you're going to want to be at. If you need to farm more unstoppables, just back off the plate, and I think you can get a total of around 6 unstoppables to spawn in this room. So practically just the same thing, step on the plate, let an unstoppable respawn, and then take them down, and then just keep doing that over and over until you get a good amount of lives to take on the next part. That seemed to work best because going into the next room with a low amount of life count might mean you might not be able to complete this at the end. So we want to walk into the third encounter of this entire strike with a good amount of lives on hand. So now moving on to this next encounter, it's quite the challenge. We are going to be having to take down up to 12 champions in this room, so we must move swiftly to complete this encounter. So before we even start the room, we are going to be greeted with a wanted enemy, and we're going to want to go ahead and let him escape, because that wanted enemy is going to take lots of our ammo, so we don't want to go ahead and waste ammo on the wanted when he's just going to go ahead and leave anyway. So after about a minute or two, he'll go ahead and escape the room, and now we can move into the room. After taking down our first anti-barrier champion, now we want to go ahead and proceed to where Kargan is and sit where Kargan is to start this next encounter off. Clear off the left side of the map and then proceed to move to the left side of the map and use that as a base to go ahead and stay safe, because there's a lot of cover over there, so you can actually stay really safe over there, and the ads will kind of pile up in the back of the map, so you'll be really safe, and you can just use that as a safe zone. So after clearing wave 1 and placing your first arc charge, now it's time for wave 2. So for wave 2 we're going to be doing the same thing and working on the left side, using that as a safe zone. So we're going to clear the left side off and then proceed to move to that side and use that as a safe area. This time there's going to be more champions around, so be careful because there will be quite a bit more champions in the room. Do not kill the unstoppable champion. Once you kill the unstoppable champion, he's going to drop the second arc ball, and the second arc ball is going to queue another wave of ads, and they're going to be coming from all of the portals. So before you kill the unstoppable, make sure you clear out all of the anti-barriers in the room and then kill the unstoppable. Once you actually defeat the unstoppable for the second wave, now you want to move over to the left side again. So our left that we used initially, we're going to go ahead and proceed back to this side, and we're going to use this as a safe zone again because there's going to be a whole nother wave of ads. So we're going to go ahead and use this again as our safe side and then clear this next wave of ads out. So now we can go ahead and proceed to the altar and place our last ball. There will be an anti-barrier waiting up there for us, so go ahead and clear that anti-barrier out and proceed to place our last ball. Now after we place our last ball, we can proceed on to the boss fight, and this part isn't as bad as this part. So if you ended up clearing the room with all of the champions, then you should have a good time with the boss fight. So for the boss encounter, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as the last room. There are no more champions to take out. You want to walk into this room with a good amount of lives and being good on time. You have a total of 45 minutes to complete this, so make sure you do complete this within that time so you aren't just completely wiped. So when you enter this room, capture the first plate by committing to it. If you don't commit to capturing a plate, then you'll just have to keep dealing with ads. So if you jump on a plate, commit to capturing it, use your supers, use your swords, use whatever you have have to do to survive and capture the plate, because once it's captured, then you can clear that wave of ads. If you don't capture a plate, it will just keep sending ads at you and it'll penalize you for not capturing it. So make sure you capture each plate when you do hop on it. Commit to capturing each plate. What I did was make sure I was the one capturing the plates, so I would use my tanky build, sit on the plate, and then I can go ahead and tank out any damage that comes to the plate, and then I could actually capture each plate, and it was really safe, so the other two teammates would be safe and I could go ahead and just take the plate solo. This seemed to be the best way to go, dedicate one person to capturing it so you could save the other two. So once all of the plates are captured, now post up on the first plate that you captured and sit behind the first plate and use that as your safe zone. So we're going to be doing all of our damage from the back and then staying in that spot. The boss might push that spot once its health is low enough, so if he does, just go ahead and shift over to the left or to the right, but make sure you do stay alive. That is the key part to completing this, is staying alive. But yeah, once you guys go ahead and defeat the boss, then you will be rewarded with your excellent loot, which is not that great of loot. It's nothing new, it's just basically double loot drops from the warden and nothing. I got some pretty good loot. I got an exotic and I also got an awesome golf ball, so something not too bad, but it wasn't what I really wanted for all the time that I put into it. But I guess we are working towards the title, so we have to be thankful for what we're getting. But yeah guys, that's gonna do it for me in this complete build and also guide. If you guys did enjoy this Destiny 2 video, please be sure to let me know by slamming that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe for more. And I've been your boy T Glizzy. It's been my awesome viewers, and I'll see you guys in another. Peace.